present as well as the bacteria, such as literally present with reference to what? With reference to the portion of the leaves. Such as we are having what? Tell me. Such as we are having the Paccinia. In term we are having the Paccinia germinata, Paccinia gamneriensis, etc. So we'll be understanding about that in term of the later. After that you will be having what? So after that we are having the middle organism or either the larger organism, directly proportional for the case of the amoeba. So we are very clear about that, means how literally amoeba present on the life forms as well as how it's particularly reproduce. Okay, so in the larger organism we are very clear about that, and in the third we will be having what? So in the third we will be having the largest organism. So it will be directly proportional for the case of the elephant. By the name itself it is very clear, means what? The elephant is resembling the highest body weight as well as it is often having the different types of the body organization which are quite a bit complex in nature. Now, so when we are talking about the history as well as the different parts in terms of the biology, so you are very clear about that. Such as we are having the here when we talk the names of the scientists, such as what? Such as the Travinus, then what? Then the landmark. So we are talking about the case of the landmark. So he was actually what? So he was actually the botanist. Well, we are talking about means what are actually the here when we talk the botanist. So the particular person who literally study about what? So who literally study about the different forms of the plant as well as the trees as well as in the case of the floral kingdom. So it will be coming under what case? So it will be coming under the botany case. After that we are having what? So we have dealt about the landmark. Okay. So after that we are having the Travinus. Remember? So Travinus played an important role as well as these are often the here meantime you could say that the scientist. So his particularly branch is what? So his particularly branch is from the zoology. As well as when we are talking about these cases, means in what of the era. So it was around how much? So it was around nothing else but the 1801. As well as when we are talking about the popular name of the scientist in term who is known as the or either regarded as the father of biology. So he's what? So he's the Aristotle. So you are very clear about that, means what are actually the Aristotle as well as who was he. Nothing to make you explain about that more now. So when we are talking about the another of the cases in terms of the biology, so you are very clear. Okay, by the name itself it is very clear that bio plus logos. And when we are talking about these cases, means particularly bio. So studying about the life forms coming under the case of the biology as well as we are in the cyto plus logy. So when we are talking about the cytology means what? Logy means to study and the cyto means particularly the demonstration cases which will be coming under from the case of the cell or either the study of cell coming under what case? So it will be coming under the cytology. Then we are having the histo plus logy. Histo means the tissue and the studying about that it will be coming under what cases? So it will be coming under the histology. Now, so when we are talking about what are actually the preservation as well as means on the basis of what of the mechanism you could say or either characterized that the organism is particularly living or not. So we are having the certain of the aspects in it, such as what? Such as we are having the reproduction, remember, as well as the metabolism. So now let's understand about this in terms of the detail one by one. So we are talking about the reproduction. So the particular organism which is producing the offspring coming under what cases? So it will be coming under the reproduction case. It is being divided into the two broad categories. So these are what? So these are the asexual reproduction, then the sexual reproduction. So the reproduction in which the single parents require in order to produce the offspring coming under what cases? So it will be coming under the here meant of the asexual reproduction. As well as on the second hand we are having the sexual reproduction. So the particular mode in which the parent require or rather the two parent require in order to produce the offspring coming under what case? So it will be coming under the sexual reproduction. After that you are having what? So after that we are having the metabolism, remember. So all the particular biochemical reactions which are literally being taking place with reference to the body coming under what case? So it will be coming under the case of the metabolism. Now, so these are often having the different types of the components as well as the factors in it, such as what? Such as we are having the anabolism then the catabolism. So when we are talking about the case of the anabolism, so the particular process which are quite a bit constructive in nature. So it will be coming under what case? So it will be coming under the anabolism case, remember. So suppose that a person or either the child is consuming the healthy amount of the food or either the biomolecules, and you are very clear about that, means what are actually the biomolecules as well as the biochemicals. So these are the fat, lipid, then the protein, carbohydrate, here meant of the glycoproteins, etc. So you are very clear about these terms, nothing to make you explain about that. So this will be coming under what cases? So this will be literally coming under the case of the nutrition as well as the here meant of the biochemical factors. Okay. So when we are talking about the anabolism, so it will be what? So in this case the body will be economized, as well as in this case what will be happening, the process of construction will be employed, result in which the body will become what? So the particular body of the organism will literally become fat. Okay, so we are talking about the case of the catabolism, means what? So catabolism are quite a bit destructive in nature, means all the particular biomolecules which is being organized in terms of the coordinates of the nutrition. So it will be utilized by the organism, such as what? Such as the human being, or either the different types of the life forms which is existing as well as present on the Milky Way galaxy, directly proportional for the case of the Earth. Okay. So this will be quite a bit what? So this will be quite a bit destructive in nature, means particularly the organism which is acquiring the sufficient amount of the nutrition in terms of the coordinates of the biochemicals. So this will be literally utilized. Okay, result in which what will be happening? So the body will literally become fit, as well as it will be free from certain of the hazardous what? The infection, as well as the pathogen, erections, etc. After that we are having the consequences. So you are very clear about that, means what are actually the consequences, remember? So we are having the patient laying in coma. So these are literally the exception case, but literally you are very clear about that. We are having the reflex sensation, as well as the stimuli, as well as the role of these. We have understood about it very clearly in terms of what? In terms of the neural control and coordination. After that we are having what? After that we are having the cellular organization. Okay, so you are very clear about that, means what are actually the cellular organization. Remember here, as well as the cellular respiration. So when we are talking about the case of the cellular respiration, so it is being divided, as well as the respiration and breathing. So these are the two vital course of the action. When we are talking about the case of the breathing, so it will be known as what? So these are the biochemical process, not the biochemical process. Why? Because it is literally being specialized with reference to the certain reason only, such as we are having the nose stils, as well as we will be having the lungs race, which is having the condensed amount of the alveoli, play important role for the transfusion of the here mint of the gases in terms of the oxygen and the carbon dioxide, as well as we are often having the here in terms of what? The vesicles, or either the different portions. So these are the micro thread playing important role for the exchange of the gases. Okay, so when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the consequences. So you are very clear about that. Then we are having the cellular organization, as well as the cellular respiration. Understood what actually the respiration? So respiration is the biochemical process which is being coordinated from the micro level to the macro level, means from the vital organ towards the micro organ, such as it will be originated from the case of the nose stils, or other the different pores from which the exchange of the gases or other the materials will be occurring. Okay, so it will be going with reference to the here went of the micro organs towards the macro organs. After that we are having the cellular organization. Remember, so the organism is often being divided on the basis of the different coordinates, such as we are having the cellular organization, then the tissue level organization, then what? Then the organ level based organization. Such as when we are talking about the case of the organ level organization. So organ level organization means what? So we will be having the specialized type of the organ system in which the different parts of the organs are literally being planted, such as we are having the digestive system. Okay, so we are often having the vision system, etc. So we'll be understanding about that case actually in later. Now, so when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the different forms of the life which are literally being present as well as existing on the here mint of the Milky Way galaxy. So we are very clear about that, as well as we are often deal about the bit introduction, means what are actually, tell me, what are actually the different characteristics of the life forms. Understood? After that, when we are talking about the case as well as switching back with reference, means what are actually the diversity, as well as your diversity is often being divided in terms of what? In terms of the broad categories, as well as when we are talking about these cases, means here, how does these diversity play an important role to maintain the ecological balance. Remember, so in this case we are having the termination as well as the codons, as well as these are being maintained with reference to the change semester wise, such as in this case we will be having what? So in this case we will be having the trees, then after that the different organisms. So you could often popularly find here on the board, such as here we will be having that the goat, find here. Then we will be having what? So then we will be having the wolf, then what? Then in term we will be having the lion, then after that, then again here when in term the smaller organisms, such as we are having the here, you could say that the cat, or either after that the rabbit. Likewise the process will be repeated, and by this mechanism only the ecological balance are literally being promoted as well as supported. Remember, as well as understood. So we are having the food wave as well as the concentration gradient, means how does the chain termination as well as how these energy are literally being transported from one tropical level towards the another tropical level. So we'll be understanding about that later. So very clearly knowing we are having the vital ports of the tropical level, such as we are having the producer, then the consumer, then the primary consumer, then the secondary consumer, then the tertiary consumer, etc. as well as the tropical level, etc. After that, you are very clear about that, means what are actually the different tropical level. Nothing to make you explain about that, but we'll be understanding about that in terms of our next lecture. Now, so when we are talking about the another cases which are literally being present with reference in the case of what, in terms of the different types of the diversity. Remember, so we are having the different types of the diversity. So these are what? So these are the point diversity, then the alpha diversity, then the gamma diversity. So when we are talking about the point diversity, so it means what? So it will be specialized with reference to what? With reference to the specific species. Okay. So in these cases, when we are talking about the example with reference to what? With reference in the case of the point species, so it will be coming under, as well as coming under the case of what? So it will be coming under the cases of the here main term, as well as specialized with reference to the smaller species, or rather in this case you could say that we are having what? So we are having in terms of the microorganisms, such as you could often find here on the board here. So the diversity of the microhabitat coming under what case? So the diversity of the microhabitat coming under nothing else but your here main of the point diversity case. After that, we are having the alpha diversity. So the diversity what? So the diversity which will be localized with reference to the here main of the certain race, or rather in terms of the local diversity. So it will be coming under what cases? So it will be coming under the case of the alpha diversity. The best example will be what? So the best example will be the maize as well as the corn case. After that, in the third, we are having the gamma diversity. Remember? So the diversity of the larger scale area. So it will be coming under what case? So it will be coming under the case of the gamma diversity. Remember? Such as we are having the island. So you could find here on the board here. Here the island. As well as when we are talking about the case of the another example. So you are very clear about that. Means what are actually the island. Then we will be having what? So we will be having the another types of the life forms in it. Such as what? Such as we are having the landscape. When we are talking about the case, means what are actually the landscape, remember? So in this case, we will be having the different types of the forms of the natural substances, such as we are having the mountain. Then what? Then we are having the water bodies, in terms of what? In terms of the ponds, as well as the hydratic environment. Often we are having the sky, as well as what? The vital of the organism which will be existing in this particular scale. Okay? Remember, land plus scale. So you are very clear about that. As well as I thought we have got, means what are actually the different cores, as well as the structural demonstration of what? Of here. I mean how these particularly balancing terms of the ecology are literally being promoted. Often in this lecture we have understood about the bit introduction, means what are actually the here in terms of the biology, as well as means what are actually the science. Often we have dealt about what are actually the different forms of the science, as well as understood means what are actually the biodiversity. Often we have understood about who is known as the father of what? The biology. Is what? So he is known as the Aristotle. After that, we have often dealt the bit introduction, means what are actually the different types of the biodiversity. So these are nothing else but the point diversity, fine. Then the alpha diversity, then the gamma diversity. So you could often write these. So if you like the work with reference to the education, as well as what? As well as the lectures, as well as the videos. So you could often do what? So you could often subscribe that, then like, then particularly comment below in the text. Thus, I will be knowing that what concept actually you are hungry for, or what haven't you understood or either got. With reference to what? With reference to the Rahul Anand biology tutorial. So very thank you.